The art show is only 3 weeks away, which means I got to get this fella all done up and ready to be a display piece. It's going to be a display piece in his own right and also a stand for displaying jewelry. Now what we have to do here is we have to get all of this mummified flesh off here. You can see there is quite a thick layer. Well, not too thick, but you can see what I mean. It is going to take a lot of work to get this off of him. So this is mummified flesh, complete with hair. Now the way we get this off, I'm going to show you, is you boil some water and add some cold water to it so that it is not boiled, but it is very hot. You put it into a container with some dish soap. I like to use things that are heavy-duty grease removers. And you put that in there. Now I'm going to need some more water. So I'm going to fill the rest of this up with cooler water. And then after that's done, we are going to check him. I have raised the water level so that he is submersed. I'm going to leave him here out of the way for several hours, even overnight. Now what this is going to do is going to rehydrate the flesh. Now it may get smelly, it's definitely going to get slimy, but this is the way that this has to be removed. So I'll check back at a later date when it's time to remove him. He has soaked overnight, so we're going to bring him out of the water, and then we're going to see if we can remove some of this flesh. Just let him drip for a few seconds here.
Let me get on the other side.
Yeah, focus on him there.
Yeah.
Alright, we can see here that this flesh is loosening. This is a dirty job and it's a messy job.
You spray me with that crap.
If you get in closer, you can see the knife is going underneath this membrane layer here. Now this is all over the entire skull. And no, I'm not wearing gloves.
Well, it all depends on how comfortable you are with this stuff.
Yep.
You're pretty comfortable with it.
I'm pretty comfortable with it, and it's not... I have no cuts on my hands. And it's not like this is infested with
Well,
really
this has been sitting in the sun for now how long?
A long time.
Yeah. So there's nothing serious there.
No. Nothing that antibacterial soap and hot water can't cure.
Yeah.
So my step right now is to take all of this stuff off to reveal the skull underneath. You can cut that for a bit. The reason why I don't wear gloves doing this project is because you have to really grip hard on this, and you're not going to get that kind of grip wearing gloves. You can see this is a very thick layer of mummified flesh here. It's actually rawhide. That's what this is.
You're going to have to soak it more, aren't you?
Yeah. Once I get this thick stuff off, then I got to soak it to get this off. You see where this is white?
Yeah.
That's got to come off too.
Okay.
So this here is like the layer that was on the coyotes.
Yeah.
So this is going to need further soaking. But you can see how thin the membrane is on parts of the skull.
Yeah.
This is why when I do my fleshing that I put the skulls in bags, because it helps keep the moisture in, and that helps prevent this from happening. Now because this does require such grip, I had to put him in a vise. There's so much on here. It's a pretty thick layer.
I can see that.
Now this was a butter knife, The Great 769 had sharpened. Did you do a video on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, you gotta really scrape. Now, there's white pieces coming off here. That's not bone, that's pieces of that flesh. Now, this butter knife is dull, but it is sharper than most butter knives. So it's perfect for doing this stuff. And that's the sound that drives most people up the wall. You want to get a further back one? Still a lot of cartilage around the antlers here.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it will have to be soaked again.
Oh yeah. Wait, it didn't take long for it to dry off, did it, in this heat?
No. That point you put on there,
Yeah.
it's perfect for getting into these little spots. So you've made me a perfect taxidermist's tool. Whether you knew it or not.
I had a vision.
Yeah, you had a vision.
Yeah. No, you know what it is? It's knowing
What
what
is
useful,
needed in
what is useful and what's not useful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, in a knife, there's a lot of useful crap.
And there's a lot of real useless stuff too. Like a lot of these knives with these big weird serrations on them that are not needed whatsoever. Or they'll have a cutout at the widest part, they'll have this big cutout that's decorative.
Yeah.
The knife will break on those edges.
Yeah. They'll also get full of gunk. I like simple. Of course, I would catch a lot of crap from people. Oh no, I gotta have my serrations. Yeah, if you're cutting, eating steak. They usually put the serrations in the worst possible place too.
Yeah.
The place that you're going to use for carving and for, you know, different things, you know.
The only knife that I have that has serrations on it is my firefighter knife.
Yeah.
And I actually like where the serrations are on that.
Yeah, well, that's a specialty knife.
Because right in there is for cutting ropes and seat belts and whatnot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's what it was designed for.
Yeah. There are specialty knives, and you know, you have that. But if you notice, I always, you know, with my fixed blade knife, I always have my Swiss Army knife with me too, with the saw, and with the various attachments that go with a Swiss Army blade, a knife. Because, you know, you never know what you're going to do.
It's going to be soaked a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you come over to this side over there,
That was a big hunk there.
you look at that.
Yeah. I don't want to get shadow in it.
Oh, you don't want to get shadow in it, huh?
Not that shadow. That shadow.
Yeah.
Being a master photographer here.
Yeah, cinematography is your real forte, isn't it?
Cinematography's M-O-N. That spells cinematography.
You can tell somebody's watched The Stand a few too many times.
Good movie. On occasion, Stephen King can tell a tale. I like that night shift when the man with the rats, the giant rat. Wow.
And then they found one in New York.
And then they found a big rat in New York, man. A 30-pound rat.
Did that give you nightmares?
No. But, you know, so I'm glad
that you don't live in New York?
Yeah. Not that I'm we're insulting people from New York. It's a...
Is it that the rats are so big there you would not want to live somewhere where they had
somewhere
rats?
where they have rats that big. I'm not interested in being.
Here's this coming out. So get a close up here.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah. That's...
Put it right in.
Nerve ending.
Yeah.
That's a nerve.
That's from the eye socket there. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it yet. No.
No.
No, that's going to need more soaking.
Yeah.
I think the whole piece here as a whole, I think he's going to need more soaking.
Oh, definitely going to need more soaking.
Yeah.
All right.
See if I can take some more of this one off. But no, that's a little hard yet.
Yeah.
You can see this under here, behind the eye sockets. Yeah, he's gonna need some more soaking here. So I might let him sit for another 3 or 4 hours and then come back. So far, he's looking a lot better than he did. Now, if there's one thing I can take out now, this will be soft enough. Little membrane between the brain and this cranium. I'm using the back of the knife here. And just like a thick paper layer here. There we go.
Oh, look at that.
And that's where it went in behind the eye sockets. Isn't that cool?
That's all nerve endings, yeah?
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
Yep. It even has the shape of behind the eyes.
Oh, isn't that cool? Why do I want to fucking just run away?
Why do you want to run away?
Yeah.
Do I gross you out? Do I gross you out?
No.
Do I gross out our viewers at home?
I don't know.
It's not going to grip. So, this is going to have to go in a little longer. So, we'll just take him. This is what he is here right now. So we're going to put him back in our solution.
And if my sister Michelle is watching, this used to belong to you. I got 2 of them. I don't know how I got.
And to keep him steady in the water, I'm just going to put this here. That way he stays there, because if not, he's going to tip up like this. And that's the part that we really want to get going there. So put that under there and he stays in there. And you can see how everything's starting to float and rehydrate.
Yeah.
And here in this bucket,
Yeah.
we got some pieces bleaching.
Yeah.
There's various animal parts in there. There's porcupine and gray seal.
Right on.
So those will be ready in a few hours. I'm going to take them out, take a good look at them, and see if they're ready to scrub up. There's the only thing that had flesh on it was the seal.
Yeah.
There's still a little bit of mummification there, but that's nothing. I'm just going to shut this vise on this newspaper here so it's ready to go. Now the tools I'm using...
Let's put that in the compost.
Yeah, I'm going to put that in the compost. The tools I'm using, I got my one of my many dental picks.
Yeah.
We've got butter knife. Michelle's butter knife, which Great 769 has turned into a lovely scraping tool. And a pair of pliers. And that's the only tools I'm using right now. Of course, my water buckets.
Yeah. Oh,
So
and the vice.
Yeah, the vice.
The old man's vice. Which is now mine, since the old man has been moldering in the grave now for...
You notice how he just puts the camera down and he doesn't put it on anything that's at...
Well, how old the old man? Died in 1990. What's this, 2012?
Yep.
22 years. Holy shit, where's the time go?
I don't know.
22 friggin' years. Wow. Man, I wish he was here. He'd love it down here.
Yeah. He'd probably be sitting there saying, what are you doing that for?
The old Dolan hated, right?
Because there's no social life out here.
Yeah, but the old man, he'd just love it. He'd go out and then he'd whine about the flies.
Yeah. Well, you whine about the flies.
I don't whine about the flies, not when you're around, because they all attack you.
That's true.
Right? The flies know caca when they see it. Of course, they attacked last night when I was talking about dildo and them.
They attacked me too. But anyway, that's it for this one. We're going to come back in a few hours.
Okay.
Alright, he has been sitting in the water solution for 2 days now. So this should be quite a bit softer than it had been. And it is actually softer, but there's still parts of it that are really in there. I also think I may have him set up on a bad angle here. We'll get him, we shall get him scraped up good. We'll get all this skunk out. Sometimes you gotta apply quite a bit of pressure to get this off. And for this project, I'm not going to worry about if I do accidentally put any little marks on the skull, because it's going to be covered up. He's going to be used as a jewelry display stand for my natural bone art. You can see how thick that rawhide is in there. You can really hear it pulling now. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's really in there good, even though he has been soaking now for 48 hours after the last video clip. A lot of people don't know just how much flesh is on a skull until they go to scrape it out like this. Sometimes a scalpel blade is needed here. You have to go very slow and careful when you got a scalpel on this. Just pull it gently and let the scalpel pull it. see it's coming a little bit cleaner, but there's still a lot of this stuff on there. Still going to take a while, because even though that looks clean, it's not. There's still a lot of little bits like this. That if you go like this, if you flick it with a scalpel, you're going to get it off, but it's not going to come off well with this. You can see it coming off like that there. It's not bone fragment because this isn't sharp enough to shave the bone, so it's still membrane. I'm probably still looking at about half-hour scraping. Well, this flesh back here is still pretty hard in there, and I'm also running out of time today, so I'm just going to put him back into the water solution for another day. Now, as you can see, this part here is pretty clean. There's a little bit here and here that's got to be scraped off, as well as right up here and some down along there. But he is shaping up pretty well. He's going to look pretty good when he's done. But now, mostly it's underneath in here, and also this here. That's got to be scraped. But for now, he's going back in the water.